Renee juggles off the ice and brought us our cut back home. Lorraine decided to stay with Benny for a while. Their demons had made a connection. The money we got from the Florida jobs led Renee to put us to another bond payoff. Those monies combined put us in a new financial bracket. Benny scooped a ride. I updated the Chariot of Comfort to a red Lex coupe, beige interior, gold spider rims, and all the features they had. Then I got a crib in the Bronx 162 Street in Ogden. The demon couldn't be too far from Harlem. I know it wasn't the source of his power, but something always drew us uptown. Now that I think about it, it was the source for the lighter side. Harlem has an energy that perpetuates self-love, and the light was drawn to that. And somehow it managed to keep us near it, hoping to eventually get what we needed. The crib quickly became the demonic lair. Renee and my squad were at my house more than at their own. It was like a central meeting place for demons and demoness. Nothing was forbidden in the palace of sin. Nothing except love. We never displayed how we truly felt. Our masks in their true form were permanent. This was a place where beasts ran wild and didn't have to hide from their true existence. Renee and Lorraine also exposed us to the wonders of overseas travel. The tropics became our escape from tainted, done-to-death streets of New York. We were introduced to demons from different cultures and given new criminal ideals. Life with Renee was an adventure that was more than just. Closeness was being shown, and the demon didn't like that. Not one bit. He needed drama. During the 5 months with Mo, I had minimal contact with Vanessa. I would tell her how I'm out of town trying to get dough for us. I sent her money when I was in Florida once or twice, and I didn't tell her I had an apartment until almost a month after I moved in. Renee was still a pleasurable item in the demon's life, and he didn't want Vanessa complicating things. Eventually, he wanted Renee's happiness to be grief only he could cure. We didn't care if we were the cause of the heartache. We needed to be more in control. The happier we made her, the harder we would make her fall. It's like the demon was taking her up a ladder and letting her fall so he could help her up and heal her bruises so he could take her higher and drop her again. He was getting more evil. His actions were more painful and treacherous to others. He became loyal to no one but himself and his needs. As his power grew, so did his desire to be more vicious. The fights were more frequent. We robbed out of spite instead of hunger. We humiliated only because we could. One day, after the demon had embarrassed Renee at some party, I woke with a typical hangover. I rose slowly, reached for the haze that I hoped would ease my pain, and inhaled deeply like I had done 1,000 times before. I laid there contemplating the day's events, and I felt like something was missing. It was like a piece of me was gone. I brushed off the thought, took a shower to feel better, but the feeling hung over my head like a dark cloud in a cartoon. Then I realized it was the demon. The demon was missing. I still felt his presence, but not his influence. I didn't feel like I was waiting for him to wake up and lead me through the day. For once, I wasn't afraid to make a decision that was not twisted and distorted. The demon was at rest. I thought I was rid of him. Damn, I was so wrong. For days, I wandered through everything mindlessly. My life had become a routine, and all I did was follow it, but with a lot less malice in my actions. Being disrespectful and mean became harder and harder for me, and with that, the lighter side took over. He didn't have total control, though, because I didn't know how not to do the behavior I had displayed. It was the showing care and concern that was new to me, but somehow I would learn. So as I had once brought negative energy to me by living it, This new attitude drew a different energy to me. The realist was Aisha. It was an April jean jacket night. I found myself at one of my regular spots, alone for the first time in almost a year. I no longer desired the company of my demonic squad. I lounged on the Lexus chariot of comfort with the sounds of the hip-hop R&B queen Mary J. exploding from within and filling the street with the pain I was now feeling. I had been abandoned by my demonic world. I didn't belong anywhere. I had become uncomfortable with my surroundings. I had done too much wrong to go back to the light world, yet I was no longer bad enough to be amongst those I had been with for so long. I wallowed in pity with a thick coat of anger as the demonic dwellers exited the club. I tossed the roach clip to the ground, and suddenly the street seemed to suddenly glow. My attention was drawn to the source. Her light brown skin tone complemented the smoothness of her smile. It was a feeling I had long forgotten, yet one that I missed and wished would return. I waited for her and her friend to pass so I could, "How you doing, sweetheart?" She looked back as she walked, and with a smile, "Aisha."
My name is not Sweetheart.
I was momentarily captivated by her voice. Then I walked up beside her and, "I'm saying, being as that's not your name, can I hit you with a little conversation that might make you not mind telling me your name again?" She smiled and,
Now see, that was nice. You didn't get mad and call me names, and you didn't say anything that was so slick it turned me off. Yeah, we can talk for a minute.
I did my best to let my words flow, but my once poisonous venom had been neutralized by the light. The haze usually allowed the wickedness to spit, but I was at a loss. I was nervous, and she saw that and somehow tried to ease it by helping the conversation, enough that I felt comfortable and asked for contact information, which she gave willingly. The next day, I wasted no time in calling her because her voice and image plagued my mind all night. When I called, she answered, and instantly I knew it was her. She once again filled me with the sweetness I felt I needed. And that reminded me about what life had to offer. We bonded quickly, and because she saw something in me I did not see in myself, I began to change, and she regulated. On one of the many nights I chose to spend with her instead of my demonic clique, I found myself only slightly hazed because Aisha refused to accept it in her presence. One fish too. Fish was the scene, and after a nice meal we enjoyed the quiet atmosphere of Fifth Avenue's Parkside. The Metropolitan Museum of Art was our chosen area. The night was clear and perfect for an evening out with a woman whose smile could fill you with joy, but as my demonic ways called for, something from the past haunted me.